So we're about to go racing once more then with the seniors, and this one is going to be Groups B against Group D, and the way the grid lines up this time round is a man who missed out on the official pole yesterday by just 1/1000th of a second. It's going to be Luke Wilhelms, the man who starts from pole position this time round. It's going to be Ed Brand, the man we got a track guide with earlier on in the weekend. Let's hope race 2 is better for him after being punted off down at turn 2 in his first heat. So Ed Brand will be trying to get himself to the inside line as quickly as possible. Back on row 2, it's going to be the likes of Brett Ward, who impressed quite nicely in the first heat. We're trying for a little bit better this time round on the inside line, which is better for him. And Jordan Lennox-Lamb will line up alongside on row 2. Row 3 then sees Adrian Renadan and Josh White there in 6th place. Row 4 is then lining up with Luke Varley and, of course, our Italian man, Matteo Lavagri, in the 8th position of the grid. Next up on row 5, a man who's done cars already in the past is Jaina Jar, and Max Timmermans, the man who steps up from juniors last year to seniors for this year, in 10th place. Back on row 6, the likes of Joel DePuch and Carlos Gill, and then behind that on row number 7 is Ollie Askew and Berke Besler, a man who lies 3rd in the championship. He's struggling here at round 2 of the championship this weekend. We'll see if that improves in his second heat of the day. Back on row 8 is going to be John Stewart, a man who sits 2nd in the championship. So all those guys who are doing very well, way down on the grid for this one once more. Shane Daly is the man alongside. Back to row 9 is Luke Montfort and Mike Bartels. Row 10 has Michael Stupinski and Maximilian Schmidt. And towards the back on row 11 is Mick Bishofer and Sam Schmelt, who will be trying to work their way through and carve as best possible like a hot knife through butter. So we'll see how these 22 seniors get on in their second heats of the day.
And now they do their stereotypical slow right down, get themselves in the Noah's Ark 2x2. And they're not doing a very good job of getting themselves into the right shape at the moment, but we've still got another couple of corners to go before they're expected to be in the 2x2 formation. Certainly go. I'd say these guys are going a little bit faster than that previous senior run, but here they go on that little bit of a straight between the turn 10 hairpin down to turn 11. They've got themselves slowed down. Looks a little bit more spread out than usual. So the marshals frantically getting them to calm themselves down. They're coming through turn 11. Then they turn right onto turn 12. Expect them to start ramping the speed up fairly soon. They are getting ready, edging themselves forward. Are we going to get the go this time? They're getting themselves into their grid lines. And off they go, and being bumped along. See, they are. They're managing to... Oh, and there was contact there as... I think it was 275 or was it Matty Lavagri? It was possibly 276. Desperately tried to get up the inside, catching the back of the car. No, it was 275. Sorry, my mistake. So Jordan Lennox-Lamb it was that managed to sort of dive towards the inside, but there was another cart that was already there, but he was so determined to jump into that inside corner that he just took somebody out. We do have a couple of cars off on the exit of turn 1. I thought one was up on the side, but that was actually the driver flicking it up to do some work on it.
Yeah, one of them involved was Adrian Renadan, the blue machine that got spun into turn 1. We've got 215, which is Luke Varley out in the race on the inside of the track down at turn 2. And the one on its side at turn number 1, 246, just getting back into the race now, is Mike Bartels. So a few disappointed people on that first lap, but it's going to be Luke Wilhelms who leads the way, and Ed Brand has managed to get himself into second place. He squeezed the gap, he got himself to that inside line, and he finds himself right up there now with Luke Wilhelms. So this, for Ed Brand, should be a much better race to concentrate on as he works his way down the back straight in towards the right hander now at turn number 6. We've got Brett Ward up there in 3rd, and Jordan Lennox-Lamb sits in 4th place in kart 275. There's the move. Ed Brand down the inside line. He overcooks it though. Luke Wilhelms fights back. They're going to be side by side on the run down towards turn number 9, and it's going to be Ed Brand right round the outside he goes. What a move from Ed. He gets ahead of Jordan Lennox-Lamb, who's made it up into 2nd place, and Luke Wilhelms in the space of 1 or 2 corners has gone from the lead down to what's going to be 6th, 7th, make that 8th place. He struggles to get back up to speed.
That is exactly what Ed Brand told us all about in our track guide. He said that was going to be the corner where he's more likely to be able to make a move, and that the person you're overtaking is going to be absolutely like a lamb to the slaughter to all the carts behind him, especially at this stage of the race where they're all running line astern. So we've now got it that Ed Brand got himself up into the lead, Jordan Lennox-Lamb into 2nd, Brett Ward third. Look at that, 4th position, John Stewart. That is incredible. From 15th on the grid, he is now running in, 4th. That's been updated. I think there may have been an issue with the transponder because it's got Brett Ward in 3rd, Joel Deptouch in 5th, Oliver Askew, Shane Daly, Luke Valence now finds himself in 8th.
Yeah, that was a poor corner for Luke. He was just ushered wide by Ed Brand, and everybody else took the opportunity to work their way through as well. But Ed Brand, now he leads the race. He's not having it lightly because Jordan Lennox-Lamb, the man who lives locally to the circuit, is right there with him in the red and white machine as he works his way down through turn number 1. Now, this is a great contest up front between the top 2. Brett Ward sits there in 3rd place, and as Chris said, a great start from John Stewart from way down on the grid, 15th place. He now finds himself in 4th place, so it's a great start from John. Behind we've got Oliver Askew, Joel Deptouch, Luke Valelms dropping down, and Berke Besler, another man who's worked his way up the order from 14th on the grid, inside now to the top 8 places. And look at the gaggle behind, from around about 10th down to 22nd. Everybody's vying for that place once again at turn 7.
Absolutely incredible. Throw a handkerchief onto the circuit and every single one of them would contact with it. It's just that close between everybody. Front 3 have kind of made a bit of a mini break at the moment, but I'm just not convinced that it's going to stay that way. Jordan Lennox-Lamb is all over the back of Ed Brand now. Is he going to line him up for a move down into corner number 1? He's certainly got a bit of a slipstream running there, not quite close enough. He's decided he wants to carry as much of that speed as possible, and he's looking up into turn 2. And so he did that. He planned that from 2 corners earlier. He knew that he needed to carry the speed through that turn 1, and he did exactly that. He didn't dart out to try and make the move. He got the speed all the way through the bend so that he could dive up the inside into turn number 2. But already Ed Brand was having a look into the turn number 6, not quite close enough into his favourite turn number 7. So the 3 of them are line astern with just a little bit of a shuffle between them.
Yep, Ed won't take this line down. He'll fight back as quickly as possible. He'll need to keep with Jordan Lennox-Lamb as much as possible though. So watch out now for these 3 all together. And Brett Ward is going to be a big challenger as well. We've seen him run very good in the past, and Brett Ward is within touching distance of our leader Jordan Lennox-Lamb as the top 3 go through for what's going to be the 5th time of asking, onto the 6th lap of the race now with 6 to go. So we're at a halfway distance of this 4th senior heats of the day, and it's Jordan Lennox-Lamb that leads, 2nd for Ed Brand and 3rd for Brett Ward. And look at the scrap for 4th place now between John Stewart, we've got Ollie Askew in there as well, and watch out for Luke Valelms. He's on his way back through after a disappointing run in the first few laps.
I was going to be calling that before we had that change for the lead. I was about to comment how Luke Valence had the I don't know whether it's the red mist because he was being very strong and forceful and getting his way through, but he seems to be still managed, and he is at the back of that second gaggle of 3 carts, and he's desperate to try and get himself as he moved up. He made that move heading in towards turn number 10, the second of the hairpins, and he nicely dived up the inside into 5th position, dispatching Oliver Askew back down into 6th position. So he now has managed to climb him up one more position up into 5th. In fact, no, that was John Stewart's side. So John Stewart got shuffled down, and Oliver Askew had already managed to get himself up into 4th. So that's how lively that second batch of 3 is.
Yep, it's the red and white machine of Ollie Askew who now sits there in 4th place. John Stewart has dropped to the back of it, and Luke Valelms finds himself in the middle. We've got 2 groups of 3 towards the front. The first 3 out ahead of the field at the minute, and then 4th, 5th and 6th are together. Just looking to see if the 7th place man Joel Deptouch is catching. He looks fairly quick out there. He's done a 50.3, which is not quite as quick, but still he's looking to catch those 3 ahead. So watch out for Joel Deptouch, and also Berke Besler in what's going to be 8th place as well. But Jordan Lennox-Lamb out front, just gapping the next 2 behind now by a small margin. So Jordan Lennox-Lamb comes through, Ed Brand 2nd and Brett Ward in 3rd place, and I think Ed Brand could be the man under attack now, so watch out for that for 2nd, and also watch out for 4th place as well, because Luke Valelms, we know he's got the speed. He definitely showed that yesterday in qualifying. He did falter slightly in this race by letting Ed Brand through and the rest of the field, but now he's controlled himself once more. He's focusing on the rest of this race with just under 4 laps to go, and he's looking very racy to get past Ollie Askew.
He certainly is not hanging about, is he? He's desperately to try and dispatch him. Just a couple of bits of housekeeping. Michael Stupensky didn't even manage to start this race. Hopefully he's going to be okay for the 3rd and final heat of the day later. Matteo Livraghi, we know, is out, and Luke Varley, unfortunately, is out as well. But here comes through to complete yet another lap. This will be 8 laps completed for our leader, Jordan Lennox-Lamb. And after quite a forceful first corner, he's done a great job to get himself up into that first position and shake the toe at the moment of Ed Brand. But how much is Ed Brand just taking a bit of a breather, either to go again or after a rather overly eventful first heat, just to get himself the maximum number of points without taking any risks? It's difficult to tell. Then it is Brett Ward a little bit further back. Ollie Askew, we know, is then back in 4th position, but Luc Valence was all over him as he headed down the back straight.
Yep, he certainly was. So watch out for those 3 cars at the minute in 4th, 5th and 6th place. In fact, it's 2 now because the man in 6th place has just been dropped, John Stewart, who's made great progress nonetheless, but now he can't go really any further to get himself inside the top 5. Jordan Lennox-Lamb about to come through for another time. 2 laps now left in this race as Ed Brand comes through across the curbs, and let's have a look to see what else is going on a little bit further down.
There's an absolute gaggle of them just coming onto the start-finish line at the moment. Led just about by 2-3-1, Carlos Gilbert, Sam Smelt, Jai Nijar, the ex-Formula 4 driver, Adrian Renaud. I mean, they literally were coming down the straight between 10 and 11, side by side, all the way down through the group. 270 just lost out. That's Jai Nijar, just got shuffled out as they exited turn number 3. So that's well and truly alive back there.
Yep, just watching what's going on for 4th and 5th. There's another move a little bit further back there, which involved, let's just wait for them to go through Sector 2. It's going to be the move from Josh White to get past Joel DePuch. So he moves up out on the exit of turn number 8. So that's a change for what's going to be 8th and 9th places. And here again comes Jordan Lennox-Lamb being shown now the last lap boards. They work their way through 2 final fights to keep an eye on here for 2nd and also the one for 4th place as well. I think 4th could be the most challenging at the minute because Ollie Askew is under attack from Luc Valelms, the man who started from pole position, is again all over the tail of the red and white machine, which works its way through the right-hander and on towards the back straight for the final time of asking for this afternoon. They've got more racing to come late into the day, have this group of competitors, but really under attack now is Ollie Askew. Can there be a move at turn 7? Yes, they can. Luc Valelms down the inside line, no hesitation, and again he's been building that up lap after lap, and Luc Valelms just goes for it. He now has to defend in towards the right-hander at turn 9, and Ollie Askew will not give up until the checker flag is shown, and Luc Valelms has got 2 more corners, 3 more corners to hold on for. The back marker is going to come across the line to get its last lap, but Jordan Lennox-Lamb here on home soil for this weekend. He takes his first victory in the heats today, and what we got going on for their 4th place, Luc Valelms did manage to hold it just about, but Ollie Askew pushed him to the line. Well,
not only that, he pushed him very wide. Luc Valelms, look at this, side by side across the line. That was number 222, I think that was, that just went there, sort of joined at the side somewhat. So that was Sam Smelt, just managed to come across .010. He was behind Luc Montfort there. But yeah, Luc Valelms was right over the curb in here on the exit of the final corner onto start-finish straight, but managed to keep enough momentum to take him back on and across the line and secure a good recovery 4th position. Sure, he won't be happy because he started in pole, but he got a very strong 4th position in the end.
Yeah, he did a best of a bad job there, really. So well done to Luc Valelms to come through. The final man to take the checker flag across the line there has now been done. So well done to Mike Bartels to come through in what's going to be around about 19th place. But Jordan Lennox-Lamb, what a result there for the Birrell ART KMS team. He wins by 0.8 of a second after getting ahead of Ed Brand on the start. Brett Ward comes home on the podium in 3rd, Luc Valelms 4th, and Ollie Askew inside the top 5. Great drive as well from the likes of John Stewart and Berke Bezler, 2nd and 3rd in the championship. They make themselves heard in 6th and 7th places. Further down, Luc Montfort, Sam Smelt and Jai Najar. Great scrap amongst all of those, separated by just 0.1 of a second. And then non-finishers for Luke Varley, Mattia Lavaghi and Michael Stopinski was a non-starter for that race. So again, seniors providing plenty of action here today at the Laghi circuit, and we can see the recovery about to begin for a few more karts out there on circuit.